Hello everyone. The photo you're looking at is a photo of a planetary parade that's playing out right now. This is the night of June 16th, 2026. Evening time. As you can tell from this photo, the sun had set a little while before. Starting at the top left of the photograph, we have the planet Venus. Down below to the right, to the side there is Jupiter. Then we have a crescent moon, just a couple of days old moon. And if you look very carefully below the moon and a little further to the right, near the trees, which is going towards the horizon, there's some low buildings out of the photo. But that little speck, that's the planet Mercury. And so that's what we're going to be mostly talking about today, but I'm going to show another photo also. Anyway, so this evening the planet Mercury is visible, and it's been visible for a week or so at least, maybe longer, but this is the first I went out looking for it, and there it was. Now here in the Midwestern United States, we've been getting a lot of clouds, a lot of rain, storms, more rain, more lightning. It's been a funny few days, but there's been breaks where we have clear sky, and that was this evening. We had a break with some fairly clear sky. There were clouds on the horizon, and through the night it clouded over again, but we had a break in the action for this. So we're going to talk about this photograph. So we have a little planetary parade going here. This is a nice picture, nice photograph. We have Mercury way down in the corner, and of course above it the moon. To the left of the moon is the planet Jupiter, and to the upper left in this photograph is Venus. Now I'm using a short telephoto lens, so this is not a big swath of sky here. The moon is going to cover over Venus briefly for about an hour on the 17th, in the early afternoon, mid-afternoon over here. And I'm going to be talking about that coming up on the next photograph. But for here, it's really the interest is the planet Mercury, way down near the horizon. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, as you probably know. Because of its proximity to the sun, daytime temperatures reach a high of 800 degrees Fahrenheit, 430 degrees Celsius. The nighttime side drops as low as 290 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius, so that's minus. The radius of the planet is 1,516 miles, so it's a little bit more than 1/3 the width of the Earth. The average distance from the sun is 36 million miles. Its year lasts 88 days. It goes around the sun every 88 days. Mercury's orbit is highly eccentric. It sometimes is as far from the sun as 43 million miles. The closest it gets is about 29 million miles. So that 88-day year it spins around the sun once every 88 days means that it moves pretty quickly in Earth's skies. We're at the point where Mercury is reaching the highest elevation that it's going to reach. So it's always near the horizon, and it never strays very far, and it's up about as high as it's going to get. So you can see that it's still in the sky glow in the evening. I would recommend getting out if you can to look at Mercury. You need to have access to the horizon or pretty close to the horizon to observe it. So where I'm looking from here, there's some low buildings and some trees, and Mercury is getting above the distant treetops. So I was able to find it in the sky with binoculars. As it got darker in the evening, I was able to observe it as a pinpoint without binoculars, but binoculars sure help. So get out and take a look at it, because it'll be starting to drop back below the horizon within a couple of weeks or so. Mercury's surface resembles that of the moon. There's impact basins. It's a very moon-like at a glance, but if you take a closer look at it, it's different from our moon. Mercury's day is about 59 Earth days as far as rotation time, so it's not quite locked in with the sun, because its year is 88 days, one rotation around the sun. So it's not tidally locked, but it's pretty close to it. From the Earth, you see phases of Mercury, just like you see phases of the moon and phases of Venus, and this can be observed with a telescope. So if you have a telescope, go out and take a look at the planet Mercury. You'll see its phases, so it's interesting to look at. And now we'll move on to the next photograph. Is the evening of the 17th. So earlier in the day, actually in the afternoon, mid-afternoon, Venus was covered by the moon for about an hour. That's called an occultation. So the moon moved in front of Venus and covered it. Now this was something that could be observed in daytime if you knew exactly where to look and you were going to take precautions to make sure you didn't look at the solar disk. Well, I was contemplating doing this, but as it turned out, this wasn't even an option for this day. 17th turned out to be more storms. So we had wind, we had rain, we had thunder, we had lightning, we had all of it. So there was no going to even think about the occultation of the planet. However, in the evening it cleared, and so that is what this photograph is about. You see that by evening, the moon had moved about 2.5 degrees, maybe 2 degrees, away from the disk of the planet Venus. So now we have the moon to the left, and then Venus, and then that other point of light towards getting towards the sunset evening light, that's the planet Jupiter. And there were some clouds right below that, so Mercury was not visible, it was clouded out. Soon after I took this photograph, more clouds moved in and covered it all. So that's the story behind this. Again, this was a pretty sight. The brilliant planet Venus, a crescent moon nearby, and then an also very bright Jupiter down below. So this was a pretty sight, and I photographed that anyway. So that's our astronomy spot for today. Go out and take a look at all of this. Of course, the moon is going to be higher in the sky. It's a nice view for binoculars or a telescope. Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury are still in a line across the sky. So it's worth going to take a look at if you have clear enough skies all the way to the horizon. And I would say focus on getting a good look at the planet Mercury. It's an interesting planet. It's not always visible in the evening. You got to kind of work to see it. Same way with it coming up before sunrise. It takes a little effort to see Mercury. You can pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I looked at the planet Mercury. Not a casual thing to do. You got to really make some effort to see it, because it's always so close to the horizon. But once you see it, it's nice. Okay, that's it. Take it easy. Bye now.